Here are the top 5 teams for you free-to-play players in our new Abyss 2.5. Now I know I said that top 5 teams, but there clearly will be other options, so I am excited to see what different teams you guys are using down in the comment sections. Before we start, here are some rules for these free-to-play team builds. Start number 1, how the teams are built are based on for free-to-play players, so most of the character used here is going to be 4-star character. 5-star characters from the standard banners are also applicable because realistically speaking, even if you're free-to-play players, you should have gotten at least 1 to 2 standard by the time you reach AR 50 and above. Now limited 5-star characters are almost will not be listed, with the only 3 limited character being Zhongli, Raiden and Kokomi. Why Zhongli is because for the second chamber you must have a Geo on your team, otherwise you can't beat the Warlord. And Zhongli is basically the best option for Abyss team builds. However, if you don't have Zhongli, then you can just replace him with characters like Ningguang, Geo Traveler, Noel or other 4-star Geo characters if you have them built. And why Raiden and Kokomi is because their banner is coming up next, so I'm taking them into consideration and build some teams around them to see how you can use the 2 characters if you haven't got them already. Plus, I would want to emphasize is that if you by now haven't got Raiden Shogun, then I would recommend you to do your best and get her on your account because all the teams she is in will generally help you clear the Abyss much easier. She's on her rerun now, so won't be back in quite some time. Number 2 is that these teams build will always comes in pairs. I call them duo teams because Abyss requires you 2 teams. All the teams mentioned in this videos have been tested and proven to clear the Abyss. Some of them I take inspiration from other creators and I will mention and link to them when I talk about that, and some teams are from my friends and my own experience. And number 3 is that you will have to invest quite a lot into these characters mentioned here because you're also relying on your 4-star character to do damage. So it's best advised to crown your main DPSs whenever it is possible. I will talk more about these characters build when we're in the team comp sections. We will be focused only specifically on floor 12 because if you're building a team that is able to clear floor 12, then it's more than good enough for you to deal with the other floors. And with that out of the way, let us jump into the team builds. With our duo team 1, we have the Raiden National in the first half and Ningguang, Yunjin, Fischl and Barbara in the second half. We have our very basic Raiden National team as always. It's currently the best team that free-to-play player can use. This team will help you wipe the first half very fast, especially in this current Abyss where the first half are very much easier than the second. With Raiden National running helping, this team will help you spare a lot of time for the second. Ideally, if you've invested decently enough into your characters, this team will only take a minute for the first half. On the second team, we have Ningguang and Yunjin here for resonance. You'll be pretty much seeing Ningguang on most of the free-to-play teams because she's just that valuable in the current second half. She has a very good 4-star DPS and deal Geo damage to the Warlord in the second chamber. Yunjin here will help with Geo as well as boosting a bit of Ningguang's normal attack damage. Fischl will support you with a lot of force field damage, and Barbara here for healing plus electro charge application so that you can get the benefit of this current Abyss buff for Fischl's Oz to deal more damage. Now how you want to build these characters is that with Raiden Shogun you can go with the catch. Favonius Lance or Kitane Spear are some of the better free-to-play options that we have got. She'll be running with the Emblem Fate set, and I would recommend you to have a talent as high as possible, mainly focusing on her burst talents and even crowning it if you have the resource. All Bennett, Xiangling and Xingqiu is recommended that you build them as if they are DPS characters, while having your energy recharge on them to at least 180% and above so that they can always have their burst back in time. Because in the Abyss is the place that you would want to min-max your damage output. Especially in Bennett's case, you do not want to run him with any HP sands or goblets or healing bonus circlets. I recommend you to get rid of that and instead get energy recharge sands, pyro or attack goblets and a crit circlets because Bennett himself can be dealing a ton of damage. Talents wise, if you're having trouble with the Abyss, I would recommend you to get all of these 3 characters burst talent to at least level 9 as again their damage capability is really good. In Ningguang's case, she is a DPS, so you want to invest in her as much as possible as well. Weapon wise, you can run the Wisith, Dodoko Hotel, or even the new Oath Sworn can work relatively well. Yunjin, she's here to mainly support for resonance and the damage buff that she gives. You can mainly focus on building her defense as she scales with that, however you would want energy recharge on her as well, so she would work best holding the Phonius Lance, or if you're still missing energy recharge, then sacrifice a defense stance slot for an energy recharge stance to make sure that her burst is constantly up. Talent wise, you can go for her burst talents as high as possible. If you have spare resources, then level up her E skills as well because it can be dealing very good numbers. For Fischl, build her as if she is a DPS character. Don't go for a support build because DPS build help your Oz do a lot more damage, so you can run her with 2-piece Gladiator and 2-piece Thundering Fury. That way you can have Oz do damage while also you can run Fischl being on field dealing damage depending on the situation. If you want to focus on having Fischl as a main DPS, then Ningguang can potentially be a sub DPS running a Favonius Codex to support your team with energy. Finally, we have Barbara. She's someone who we need to invest the least in because she can run with Flingtails. Her artifacts, it's best to run with the Ocean Clam set as it helps you with a bit more damage. It's not recommended that you build her as a Maiden's Beloved set as it's a waste of slots because remember you're running against Tam in the Abyss and any bit of extra damage you can do will not go to waste. Next, we have our duo team number 2. We have Sayu, Barbara, Fischl and Beidou on the first half, and Ningguang, Xingqiu, Xiangling and Bennett on the second. This team is an inspiration from Ken Rurouni. He has a whole Abyss run clearing it with this team, so do check his video out. Link will be down in the description. What's so good about this team is that we're not using any of the national team 4-star member in the first half, saving it for the second, helping you clear the second half better because bosses in the second half are technically way tougher and a lot more bulky, especially the Baptismal Bishop in the first chamber. On the first half, we have Sayu here for healing, but more importantly resistant shred with her 4-piece Viridescent because her Daruma during her burst being present on the field helps you very consistently with that. Beidou and Fischl here together for Electro Resonance, helping Beidou's burst constantly up, and Barbara further healing and damage increase from Thrilling Tales. What you want to be aware of from this team is most importantly to have Sayu swirl Electro so that she decreases Electro resistance, and have Barbara remember to trigger Electro Charge for the maximum benefits of the Abyss buff. And then for second half, we have Ningguang and our 3 national 4-star member. This team will run really well as long as they are decently invested as mentioned above. How we build the characters are similar to Team 1. Sayu here is pretty easy to build. Of course, leveling her up to at least level 70, getting that second passive and helping your team with a bit more damage. Her most important role is basically have her burst up, so she'll want a bit of energy recharge. In this case, the Sack Great Sword can be very good, or the Rain Slasher can work for her also. She'll be running the 4-piece Viridescent along with the energy recharge stance so that she can have her burst up more often. Goblet should be attack or anemo, and Circlet is crit because Sayu scales with her attack for more healing. Talent wise, you will only need to focus on leveling up her burst mostly. We also have Beidou, notoriously known as one of the best 4-star options out there. There's a few options to build her. You can either go with a 4-piece emblem to help her a lot with burst uptime, or 2-piece Thundering Fury and 2-piece Glad will work fine. Beidou's weapon choice, you would just want to give her your hardest claymore hitting option and she should be fine, because running with Fischl on the team will already help Beidou a lot with burst uptime. Focus onto her burst damage and level up her E skill if you have the resources, because again her E can dish out some insane numbers. Now if you have enjoyed the video so far, then do consider subscribing to the channel, because once the channel hit 10,000 subs I will be doing a character giveaway. So if you're new to the channel, then click on the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification and join our Discord server where I will be holding the giveaway. We don't have a lot of participants yet, so your chance of winning is pretty high. And so here is our duo team number 3. We have Diluc, Fischl, Xingqiu and Diona in the first half, and then Ningguang, Zhongli, Xiangling and Bennett for the second. This team is an inspiration from MOBA and Chill. He has a whole Abyss run clearing it with this team, so do check his video out, link in the description below. First half we have Diluc running with 3 elemental applicator, Fischl, Xingqiu and Diona. This team synergizes really well, helping Diluc dealing a lot of reaction damage, especially when he's running with 4-piece Crimson. And the second half we have Zhongli in place of the normally being Xingqiu. Again, if you don't have Zhongli, then you can run character like Yunjin, Geo Traveler, who will help in similar similar fashion, but as we know, Zhongli will do very well. Now, how we build the characters is that with D-Look being a main DPS, therefore invest into him as much as possible and then crown him if you can. Diona, she's here to provide shields and healing, therefore running her with Favonia's bow or Sack bow are two really good options to keep her burst up more often. It's best to go with Noblesse on Diona, running HP stats on her because the more HP she has, the more tougher her shield is going to be. And you'd want that because on lower investment, her shield breaks quite easily. Plus, the more HP means that she will be healing more for your team. Talent wise, focus on leveling up her E skills for her shield to be better, and then also level up her burst if you have the resources. Zhongli, I would recommend you to build him as a burst DPS. I do not suggest you build him as a shield bard because on lower investment HP Zhongli, his shield is already never going to break. Plus he has low shield cooldown, so reset is very easy. Building as a burst DPS will help your team with a lot of damage output, especially when Zhongli has such high burst scaling. You can run HP Sands, Shield Goblet and Circlet Crit on Zhongli. Next, we have duo team number 4, which runs Mona, Beidou, Fischl and Diona on the first half, and Keqing, Xingqiu, Yunjin and Zhongli on the second. The first half we have a pretty interesting team. That's a bit of a taser team. We have Beidou and Fischl here as always to provide a ton of off-field damage. Mona here can be built as a DPS or a support depending on who is going to be a DPS on your team. For me, I just run Mona as a DPS with Diona there to provide constant healing, shielding and cryo application for freezing, especially those wolf in the first chamber, and a bit of superconduct for additional physical damage if you're planning on having Fischl or Beidou to attack. Second team, we have Keqing as our main DPS along with Xingqiu for constant electro charge taking the benefit from the Abyss buff, Yunjin with Zhongli for Geo Resonance, with Zhongli helping burst DPS and Yunjin provides normal attack buff because Keqing will be doing a lot of normal attack damage to trigger Xingqiu's burst as well. How you want to build the character is that Mona, if you're going with a DPS, then sure, just invest into her as much as possible and take her damage to the next level. The Heart of Depth set is going to be the way to go. If you're building her as a support, then she can be holding the Thrilling Tales with energy recharge sands so that she can have as much burst uptime as possible. Here you will only need to focus on her burst talent because the higher it is, the more attack buff her omen is going to be given to your team. As for Keqing, her main role is a DPS, so just invest into her as much as you can for her to deal higher damage. Her artifact sets can be 2-piece Thundering Fury, 2-piece Glad. It's going to be the most simple way to go and good usage of your resources. Then we have duo team number 5, which is Kokomi, Sucrose, Fischl and Xiangling for the first half, Raiden Shogun, Zhongli, Bennett and Xingqiu for the second. The first half we have what's called a Suko Komon team that features around you dealing a lot of reaction damage. This team is quite free to play friendly with only an addition of Kokomi if you have her or will decide to go for her on her banner. However, it's one of the most complicated teams to run in Genshin Impact up to date, so I can't explain all the basics and their rotation here in this video, but you can check out this video from Mel Ray where he explained it fantastically in every single details. Again, link will be in the description. Now this team will work amazingly against the first half because the majority of your enemies do not have too much resistance towards elements. So if you're able to play this team well, that's going to be a huge boost for you. The second team we can run Raiden Shogun, Zhongli, Bennett and Xingqiu. If you have Raiden Shogun and Zhongli, this team will help you clear very well because again, Raiden and Zhongli plus the support from our two national members are just very strong. How you build this character is that for Kokomi, generally you can run Thrilling Tales along with 4-piece Tenacity because she can make use of all this very well. You can just focus on building HP and healing bonus onto her and she will do well. Or since you're running her in a taser team where you deal a lot of reaction damage, you can go with EM Sands. Talent wise, I recommend you to focus leveling her up on her E skills so that she can help your team with a bit of damage. Sucrose you can run with a Sacrificial Fragment for a lot of EM boost and her ability to reset her E skill cooldown, generating her more particles, helping with her high energy burst cost, plus her E skills have quite a long cooldown so you can tend to want more energy boost. Aside from that, run her with 4-piece Viridescence and full EM build if you feel that you already have enough energy recharge to work with. You don't have to invest into any of her talent, but you can if you have enough resources for a bit more damage on her side. I know that the Abyss is definitely challenging, especially especially for free-to-play players where you don't have access to as many of the limited 5-star character. However, if you work on building your 4-star character well enough, they will still help you clear the game really well. Those are some of the team options I got. I hope that it have been helpful to you guys. Again, if you are new to the channel and have enjoyed the video so far, be sure to subscribe for more of my content plus my upcoming 10,000 sub character giveaway to have a chance and win a 5-star character for free. With that, I wish you a super day and I will catch you on the next video.